Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Zion. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? Yeah, so who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Yeah, who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? Say, I call you.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your location. And then see another beautiful day. Onyankopon ishra ama me ne wo. Say ye bet to me this edwumedi abawa kwen mo. Eha ye BWF Solicitors. Omo education every Friday bia na manyeti me di ho akotene di mu chiame ye di bremo no enen so da no asan so. Adom ne nti no wakyɛ nkwa, wakyɛ ahoɔden, wasan akyɛ ahoɔfɛ nso na yɛmfa mbra screen ne so na yɛmfa education no ɛmfa mbrɛm. Megye di sɛ baabi biara a wowɔ biara wo ho yɛ. Na sɛ wo ho yɛ deɛ a ɛnea twe bɛn me. Twe bɛn me na ɛnɛ yɛndi nkɔmmɔ a ɛmo ɔdɛ, nkɔmmɔ a ɛmo ohwam, nkɔmmɔ a ɛbɛboa wo asan aboa abusuani bi. BWF Solicitors every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, or Modi or Mohu ato ho say education on legal matters, education on legal issues, education on legal some ransom somewhere. Try you no both UK ha any Ghana ha no. Demo akotene papa na decide education no e de abremu. Na mo nso a nsem kakra ha mo a embia na mo ntumi entua na mo prekope enko hu lawyer na motumi ebisa saa nsɛmsɛm no ɛwɔ ha free we be say free na wenya mmoaye ɛnɛ adom ne nti menyamea me nua ba me ho na kyeyie me ho na kyeyie papa na ɛnɛ wabɛka me nsa na edi adwumadie ebe ɛde ɛbrɛmo topic a ɛba bɛhyɛ no ɛyɛ de paa na mmom ansa na mema weyi ne ho edi no mesrɛ we ni die mo onya ba so a bɔmmɔden na share program no na nkɔ akyire. Just copy and share. Copy the link and share. We call WhatsApp page in this one. Do na ewo group. Kona ko share wo ho. Uko Facebook nso a share wo ho. Uko YouTube nso a share wo ho no. Se ne be ya afoforo especially in kromufo and name particular in topic e be in kromufo do na benya ho mfaso na omo abedwane na chese omo nso omo nya eda ewom. Enti kame ho na keep on sharing, liking the page and then subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hear me papa. Me twa me ho sima na maba me dia ne manyeti. Utia me baby ahum baby a uka manyeti a meje wo so. Me twa me ho abasisia.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Oh, today's Eunice.
Yo, yasan akwa bana yedi dwumedie no so from now up to 11 sharp na ya sorry na so Mr. we need mu ba na obetete a enko. Just stay for a while na tie ne ye ka no megidi se beboa o na wonso wetumu anamo de amo obi. Ena me topic a me wo no emo hwam pa. Mo nyina emre bi yete se kromu ha G workers, a fresh skill workers no. Short, different. You can't bronica skilled and it as a bibia. To me, nimdeɛ wɔ ho a wotumi ɛyɛ enti no ɛba ne sɛ baako bi betene yɛ care workers betene pam na nkrɔfoɔ efo sɛ no nko na ɛyɛ skill worker wobetumi de aba kurom ha daabi ebedu baabi ɔmbeyi teachers foɔ nso de edi yɛ ɛma yɛka sɛ wo nso wɔ teachers woyɛ teacher ni na nso ukita some specialities bi wɔ subject bi mu a wo nso so wobetumi aba as a skill worker no abenye school na nso de akyerɛ de no so ɛyɛ man nkrɔfoɔ saa nso na sa akɔba construction workers handiworks ne saa nneɛma bebree na yɛka construction na we know a whole number of yɛka ne sɛn areas ɛwɔ construction mu plumbing tiling bricklayers and bebree ɛno nso so twam ɛno deɛ ɛwɔ mu paa kyerɛ sɛ nkrɔfoɔ gye nkrɔfoɔ wɔ construction work field hɔ no ɔmo gye nkrɔfoɔ paa dodoɔ na ɛkɔ nti saa skill work edwumadie na nkrɔfoɔ ka sɛ etwam no ɛntwam ɛwɔm gye so mo raise standard ne kakra nti some of the small skill companies no saa standard no ɔmo ntumi na ɔmo amanaba form na ayɛ sɛ ade na etwam if you're a skill worker you find the right company na ɔbɛtumi atua the right amount of money at the government threshold na ɔde ato hɔ na you can easily get it and come and work as a skill worker. Eno na ene yebedi baako ho nso adwuma say teacherfoɔ nkrɔfo refi sɛ woyɛ teacher ni a wonso obetumi na mmom ansa na mekɔ so a na ma kyerɛkyerɛ mu akyerɛw no me introduce me resource person ansa na ɔno nso fa nkyia kɛseɛ Emma ye tiefo any ye listeners na any viewers ewo media ne so na afede ye mfedwumedie no entata so nti lawyer Eunice me my special welcome and happy returns to me hu se wa badada but me de enen me first time me ne good morning Bill
Video so my tea. Miss Mafio.
Papa
It's been a while. Me
yes.
say at least end the day give it to me. Asia na yedi home come in regards
Mm.
to your main topic no. And
Yes.
mekyia your viewers nkurɔfoɔ a wɔrehwɛ yɛn wɔ YouTube so anaasɛ Facebook so mekyia mo nyinara sɛ motie yɛn nso so a nyame nhyira mo sɛ ɛnnɛ da yi moabɛka yɛn nsa a yɛbɛtumi ɛdi dwumadie I hope sɛ ɛnnɛ topic no nso will be of interest to somebody and to
Mhm.
share to anybody you think that may have some interest in topic na yɛbɛ discuss but sɛ wowɔ asɛmbisa a ɛmfa topic no ho koraa wobɛtumi nso ebisa w'asɛm nti I think sɛ
Sa
yɛbɛtoa so from ha.
Sio matemeda se eni die mu nkyia mu ohwam ankasa nti etiefoɔ just do me a little bit favor, as soon as you come on Bomodia, just share the program, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then like in the page. Like ni love na hia pa menim say no kra hia more. And so like the page ni who said the dwuma ye no nkrofo eni gye ho. So mumbo modern a woba so a no like woba so a ummia we ni so kakra na be pop up those emojis no wo na either say obeye like de na obeye love de no eboa ma edwumadie no ekoso. So keep on doing that, and I believe say at the end of the day nyina ye be benefit equally. Nti nyame nhira mom ye be koyenim na ena me hu lo ni sama me ni age de and then they boom update because every day there is something actually going on within the home office sector na omo yi chese omo son da ye kra from parliament na ye di home office aso ye na BWF solicitors omo si kokonsa omo dro dada na chese omo ehunia eko eno na ene update ba ko a abetomu a mepɛ sɛ yɛ ma ho yɛte ho ma etiefoɔ na ahwɛfoɔ na wɔn hyɛ ɛbɛboa nkurɔfoɔ bebree because dodoɔ naa ɛte sɛ yɛ a yɛnhwɛ news yɛ a yɛnkenkan yɛ a kyerɛ sɛ ne yɛnim ara ne sɛ yɛse no nso so no whether it's from the right source or from the wrong source ne koraa yɛn deɛ yɛmfa ho ɛno ara sɛ yɛse o nti but ɛnɛ deɛ betie from the right source na wɔn nso wɔmfa nto anammɔn nti lɔya Eunice mɛsan atwe wo asan aba biom na membisa wo ayɛn biara na ɔtwe biara a yɛba no ɛyɛ na ɛmu nsɛm na ɛdɔɔso especially today yɛse Friday the 13th saa mate na Friday the 13th na nkurɔfoɔ suro mo ho no ɛmfa saa believe no kɔ rather believe in the positive side say every Friday the 13th positive things will happen to you. When you read the history of that Friday the 13th na ɛnyɛ hu bi saa yɛn na nkurɔfoɔ ayɛ no Friday the 13th Friday. Listen, just stay on a focus and focus on the positive side and nothing will happen to you. It's a blessed day. Nyankopɔn ka kyerɛ sɛ, every day no we shra de amaye we should go out there and make use of it. Ain't you know why not? La Eunice may ending come and the update be na aba.
And see, I think there are two main updates. I'll start by first sharing the fact that, Ministry of Defense Secretary of State, which is
Mhm.
Sima Mahaltra,
Okay.
or the Abetuja say when it comes to Nkrofwa, Omo, Ekunu, and also Omo spouse, Efrum.
Mhm.
Now, Omo person application based on the fact that they are now bereaved in Sabia no more 2.5 ɔmo bɛyɛ another 2.5 ɛna ekuru no anaasɛ yere no efum nti sɛ aba ne saa de a ɛsɛ ɔmo tumi ɛyɛ application for bereaved partner based on your immigration rules no and usually sɛ wopɛ sɛ woyɛ application for wankasa wo ho because ebi a wo kunu anaasɛ wo yere efim ɛna the fact sɛ wowɔ mba home office application fee for indefinite 2,885 nti ɛno no sa no sɛ wo so wotua saa sika no a wotua ma wo ho ne nkɔlaa no but we who say it is not right especially sɛ ebi a wo kunu yɛ sogyani a woefirim na wopɛ sɛ woyɛ application based on the fact sɛ wo kunu no efirim no then it means that you now have to bear the cost of paying for that application and then Mbanon will have to pay that same 2,885 as well, which seems very weighty. Into when Hunesano, yeah, Secretary of State, see man say when it comes to bereavement applications, no, then it means says a year na anase ekunu na all how person your application no or to me your application for fee waiver into say or yes I request based on the fact that ekunu anase even frame no omo be share the fact that ABI sa nimpa no or you will be a destitute and I say oni sa sika na ode betua nti ɛno no sa no na ɔmo ɛhwɛ wo bank statements sɛ woyɛ adwuma a wo pay slips sɛ wowɔ accommodation a wote mu ɛne wo expenses ɛne income a wogyeɛ to be able to see sɛ ampa ɛnyɛ adeɛ a wobɛtumi atua saa 2,885 ama wo ho ɛne nkɔlaa no nti ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo tumi waive fee no ma wo na wotumi yɛ saa application no nti that is good news for nkurɔfoɔ a if by any means possible you feel say wontumi ntua saa 2,885 because ebi a wo kunu anaasɛ wo yere afiri mu nti ɛno nso ɛwɔ hɔ ɛma ɔmo. And then secondly, when it comes to your immigration health surcharge, yɛn nyinaa yɛnim sɛ as of October 2023, no, your immigration health surcharge no increased from the 1,500 for 2.5 years to £2,868 for 2.5 years. And obviously, say if you're on any other routes, not just on the 2.5, the yearly immigration health surcharge is 1,035 since October last year. And some of the new guidance about this week to say that when it comes to the IHS payments, Nkrofobetuni are logging into the IHS portal to pay IHS separately from the application. Into for instance, say maybe yeah, payments of IHS, let's say February of 2023. And then I'm say maybe application now ɔmo bɛhwɛ dates na mede yɛ application no aka kyerɛ me sɛ wo payment na wayɛ no woyɛ ne last year that was when the fee was less but ɛndɛ yi a wobɛyɛ application no ɛhɔ na yɛbɛhwɛ afiri nti sɛ me submit application ne ɛndɛ yi a ɔmo bɛhwɛ sɛ application immigration health surcharge na metuaeɛ is it the current fees anaasɛ the old fees sɛ ɛyɛ the old fees na metuaeɛ deɛ a they will tell me to top up and make the additional payments because me metua ka on in February last year when I'm doing the application this year. And also we have to be sure that say oh your application now oh your IHS payments no at the dates of the application rather than previous dates. And then more person will clarify the fact so so person yeah refund na sometimes oh yeah international payments are banks no at the charges be at to so and no no they have no right over those charges that the banks put on it. And to say, oh yeah, international payments because oh yeah, application I'm our area and answer mumba to join you in the UK. Banks no at the charges ever to so. In say no sano, almost charge no home office no has no control over it. In say almost IHS payments ne pɛ but bank charges na ɛkeka ho na bank na atete afiri mu no ɔmo deɛ ɔmo ntumi refund saa sika no ɛmma wo nti refund na wobɛyɛ no usually they will just pay the exact amount na ɔmo gyeeɛ but not the charges that the banks also took in response to your transaction na woyɛɛyɛ when it also comes to the fact that ABA uti Chrome ha why IHS payment ABA application now we you know for one reason or the other no you refuse say into person when you refund and now cramp say oh yeah healthcare worker into we dreaming for no they can help you request for a refund of your IHS every 6 months and also they are saying so when it comes to the IHS refunds they expect say you make the refund request within 5 years after 5 years so when to me and your request now and there it means say usika no ombeje almost sound from my back into so so yeah IHS refund that you have to be able to make the refund request within 5 years of the payments being made otherwise we sika no unsan back. Into those are just a few things in regards to your IHS now me per se nkofo ehu because they've obviously put this guidance out this week. Almost person nkofo who said these are the things that they need to be looking out for as well. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. And just a home office, abribia no omo dwe nipa ho. One thing about them, abribia omo nim say ne etie bia when it comes to sikasem ne ade na nkrofo bre even though omo mia yen kakran so na ya no mo agugu omo ho. So, coming out with these you can say IHS any the first one bereave we no the nyina sikasem say obetumi kra akọ apply na ye kakra free so ama no ne nyina it's really good etre say omo dwen ye ho one way or the other no omo dwen ye ho pa ye na ye ka ne say nti na je say what time o ka no say wetua can be dada I don't know say metia o ha se ni ye say wetua like wetua IHS ni bi dada na ukwa the next application na o say o san ko tue bioma anase wotua ne wetua ne dada na eno atumi cover the rest of your applications na oh no oh no man shada anti ase yi pacho obetumi akire mu.
Okay, into now make I say when it comes to your IHS fees now, there's a particular portal you can make payments of your IHS separate from your application. Into a
Okay.
more it was a portal on username ne password on way to me IHS payments
All
no.
right.
Into
Okay.
because they have access to that portal, they can
Mm.
pay for the IHS in advance before
Uh-huh.
application no.
Uh-huh.
Into the visa
Yeah.
no. There's all
Mm.
to me payment no at the time of the application. So
Right. Mm.
IHS payments no
Mm-hmm.
fees ni increase here. They will
Mm-hmm.
ask you to make the top up. Into for instance, ye na ye nim say October 2023 and no more increase the IHS fees no.
Mm.
Into
Mm.
then maybe your payments no let's say prior to October of 2023, dear, they will
Uh,
tell me, oh, application now we and then no
uh-huh.
fees no and so
And so,
if there's a
okay.
on top pay up.
Mm.
In no
Mm.
no sano no more cash will say so top pay up fees no because
Mm.
we application and yet based
Okay.
on time now we IHS
Yes.
payments.
Matiase,
Yeah,
Matiase.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Edi mo sa no ano no. Matiase. Na che say on senka first no. Yetumi tue sika no hoping say before metum yan yetua dada. Enti no yetum cry and fire ho but the first say one for application nko ye no na application no dey call abra ya tumo no na che say you have to face the current prices na e wo no. Nti wetua dada na top up no dey akwakọ ka ho. It makes a lot of sense. Eunice, yɛda ase ne saa nkyɛkyɛmu a wode ama yɛn no ɛyɛ bereaved deɛ no ne IHS no da biara yɛnya yɛ update say at least yɛto anammɔn bi a ne yɛhu kwan a ɔsɛ yɛfa so ne yɛmfa nyɛ na ɛbɛkɔ yɛn topic no so still a mesrɛ mo sharing no sama me. Oh, na monhyɛ ma me o, monhyɛ ma me mesrɛ mo. Just keep on sharing the program. Tiliduma, nyame nhyira wo deɛ menim sɛ yada koraa yɛgye di sɛ wobɛhyɛ de ama yɛn nti nyame nka wo nyame nhyira wo na still a ɔnkora wo saa na keep on sharing nkaeɛ no ɛtɔ de bi a na adwumasɛm sometimes Friday morning adwumasɛm ne adade but dodoɔ na bi a ɛwɔ fie anaa they have access to come online no yɛsrɛ mo mobɛtumi ahwɛ o na moahyɛ program no na moalike and then subscribe to our channel nti no monkɔ so mehu sɛ one or two question bi ba so but it's not yet time for questioning nti no yɛbɛkɔ so na yɛakyerɛkyerɛ na yɛn topic a yɛwɔ no after that no I'll open the phone lines for you to have opportunity to ask your questions and then a few ones though I've also got here now. I also asked lawyer Eunice and I believe so when my that will make a whole lot of sense to us. Nti no, share yen topic no. Me dey about skill workers eba emre my friend say the third year mu na yɛwura no you started seriously about skill workers application ni we aba no teachers deɛ no ɛbaeɛ nkurɔfoɔ kakra na ɛba it looks sɛ teachers deɛ no dodoɔ naa nhwɛ saa kwan no but ɛhɔ koraa mpo na ɛyɛ easy o menti aseɛ ɛhɔ deɛ ɛyɛ easy na if I may say no ho saa etuatua bi na nkrofo bi ye greedy no mama mu tuatua bi no saa teachers den de enti saa o teachers den de o be se wo ye a ken sike hunu bia enimu saa so wa de no but still no nkrofo entumi enkoso na omonye all because some of the subject areas na oho na ye hot cake pa no nkrofo nhye da enhwe ho enti ene yɛba abɛhwɛ sɛ woyɛ ɔkyerɛkyerɛni woyɛ teacherni ɛwɔ yɛn kurom any other country no wobɛtumi wo nso apply to come and work in the UK anaa yɛnhwɛ anaa no kyerɛ sɛ wobɛtumi anaasɛ wontumi nti no ansa na wobɛnya the right answer ɛbɛ satisfy no mesrɛ wo ani deɛ just stay with us na yɛnkyerɛkyerɛ mu ɛmfa ma wo nti la Eunice ɛnɛ me topic a mede abɛto dwa ne sɛ meyɛ ɔkyerɛkyerɛni ɔkyerɛkyerɛfo biara nso yɛwɔ mo categories o it's not just you're a teacher and then you're a teacher obi koraa kyerɛ ne ba wɔ adeɛ wɔ fie ɔsɛ yɛ teacher yes once a wotumi kyerɛ bi obi biribi na ɔtumi te aseɛ no de ɔyɛ teacher but then we have qualified teachers ɛno ne ade no and then we also have subject speciality obi a ɔno a ɔnhyɛ da koraa nkɔ teacher training sɛ ɔyɛ qualified teacher but then ɔyɛ subject bi ɛwɔ degree area anaa ɔde akɔ ne masters koraa mpo ɔde ayɛ ne PhD nti saa subject no wa master kyerɛ sɛ wayɛ watintim wɔ saa subject no some of the schools ne koraa ɛfa nkurɔfoɔ saa if you have subject a kyerɛ sɛ watintim hɔ ɛwɔ subject mu a schools bi wɔ hɔ a ɔmo bɛtumi ɛde afa nti ɛnɛ no yɛbɛhwɛ sɛ meyɛ ɔkyerɛkyerɛni Lawyer Eunice mɛyɛ dɛn me nso so mɛtumi aba UK aba abɛyɛ adwuma sɛ meyɛ ɔkyerɛkyerɛni anaa ɛnɛ me question no nti kyerɛkyerɛ yɛ na questions a mewɔ no na mede ato dwa de ama wadaroma kɔ so ma me.
Okay. Saying we start with question, no. There are different categories of teachers, and of course, based on your topic, no. So yeah, a teacher near and or church near over to me, I application ediaba on certain requirements and answer based on certain requirements. And see, first of all, what kind of teacher are we talking about? Say a share a teacher for you mu ahodro. So wokɔ nursery a anaasɛ wo ba wɔ nursery a wobɛka sɛ wo ba no wɔ nursery anaasɛ wɔwɔ preschool nti ɛno no saa no ɔmofrɛ no preschool teacher anaasɛ practitioner anaasɛ nursery teacher anaasɛ even kindergarten teacher nti sɛ ɔmo move from that stage na ɔmo kɔ primary school nti primary school foɔ no nso ɛwɔ ɔmo ankasa ɔmo akyerɛkyerɛfoɔ nti usually you have those who are in junior school ɛyɛ nkorɔfoɔ a ɔmo wɔ key stage 1 from reception year 1 to year 2 nti ɔmo yɛ junior school nti ɛno no saa no they are junior school teachers and then from year 3 on to year 6 no they have the primary school teachers until you have those categories of teachers under the primary school level and as a primary school education as well. Oko further up from primary school or oko secondary school. And also they have secondary school teachers and you have different types of subjects in secondary school. Into it could be math, science, English, whatever category of subjects you are teaching. To me, like I said, it was secondary school level. And so you have the secondary school teachers, you even have head of years, and then you have even head teachers and deputy heads and the rest within the secondary school level. So we move it up from secondary school at college and I say higher education level. And so you have sixth form teachers, you have further education lecturers, you have college lecturers, and sometimes you also have higher education tutors as well. And so we call up the higher education level. Those are the kind of teaching roles that are available. And then you go further up, if you're saying that you are a higher education teacher or a university lecturer, you also have a category of lecturers who are able to teach different subjects based on that higher education level. And then you have the PhD lecturers as well within that same category as well. And then you also have in perform your from teaching assistants. Into this can be at primary school level, secondary school level, for those who are teaching assistants. And I want conform what special needs into ABA Wobano. There's an issue with more learning into they are not able to assimilate things as quick as the other children. And so we're teaching assistants for special education needs. And so also ɛwɔ hɔ. And so there are all these different categories of teachers that they have on the occupation code list prior to 4th of April this year, 2024, no, now it will be called shortage occupation. And then we had teachers in within that category. But this year, we don't have that shortage occupation list anymore. Almost the immigration salary list, no, mum, and aba. And see, on our current immigration salary list, there's nothing like shortage occupation where almost a demand they say set teachers for almost within a certain category per se. In no no san any hobby. But they have a whole range of roles and they're saying that when it comes to applying as a teacher, you have all these categories or these roles that teachers can apply under to come and work in the UK. And most of the time, there are certain requirements that almost sure I say utumi meeting and sana wait to me I application no at the about UK krom ha.
Okay, I see. Enti no, eno sa no, senia wacheche mo no. To say wama yehu the first stage say whatever role you play as a teacher and as in education sector no, there is an opportunity for you ubetumi ye ayesa application no aba. And I think so say senior na oka no nature say some of the schools na say okay in this case now use schools because schools now ba betra there. And some of the schools now ebe ma ebe ubeye application na akọ mo na omaye no mo nso require certain amount of qualification be from you. And no we'll move to the qualification be said okay me a teacher ni but enye teacher biya keke na metumi aba wacheche mu from you can say preschool sa to higher education na nature say university level ni a bit further education college level then secondary school and then we have the primary and then the preschool into what church you say nara you can come and teach but then what would be the qualification that you have to hold to enable you being a successful do a successful application o de ba ibetumi agye wo na o de abɛyɛ adwuma nti yɛnhwɛ qualification no sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛkyerɛ mu sɛ meyɛ teacher ni but deɛ na ɔsɛ me call because aha no neɛ nti a mebisa no aha no they have their ultimate qualified teacher status however some of the schools maybe most of the academic schools no ɔmo no ɛyɛ ana QTS no ɛnhyɛ da nyɛ ɔmo so keen ɔmo de ɔmo gye di sɛ wabɛn wɔ subject area na wɔn nko ara deɛ a na kyerɛ sɛ wobɛtumi ayɛ dɛn wo nso so wakyerɛ adeɛ but process no to get these schools no nso no yɛwɔ procedures a wɔsɛ wo go through nti yɛnhwɛ some of the application no yɛka ne sɛ qualification na afei deɛ yɛahwɛ procedure a wobɛtumi afa so na wode abɛ ɛyɛ application wobɛyɛ successful na afei deɛ woanya school nso na wabɛkyerɛ adeɛ wɔ ha nti mpatwɔ sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛkyerɛ yɛn bisaa na nka ɛbɛyɛ dɛn paa.
Okay. I know say a chrome hanum there why your BB our friend a PGC course for 1 year. Over to me actually there at any level whatsoever. But say oh kasa free a close to say Ghana there. Usually you would have done a teaching diploma before you would start teaching. And I know say those are one of the areas that some people were able to even come into the UK prior to that was I think the Tony Blair era. And see when it comes to teaching there, um, like you said, so why your qualification be let's say maths. Maths now we uni into what being power maths into gye di sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ adeɛ wɔ maths mu a,
Yeah.
then of course they will look at that should I say skill level that you have.
Mm.
Into under your immigration rules no, you will be a more friend no approved skill level.
Mhm.
Into your qualification now no say woka sɛ wopɛ sɛ wobɛyɛ adwuma wɔ hanom a, they are looking at a level 3 or upwards. I think sɛ Ghana ɔmoyɛ no level 300, 400, 500, 600.
Mm.
Into so the equivalent to be from a level 300 upwards.
Of course. Mhm.
Into so for instance, so why you're teaching diploma now when
Mhm.
you're on level 300, then
Mhm.
of course that is something that they will need when it comes to you applying as a teacher. So
Mm.
if you have a degree, not necessarily like a teaching diploma, but what
Mm.
tried into a degree now, yeah, yeah, you did it up to a level 600, but to
Mhm.
say you teacher in no sano, you have a higher qualification than the least expected
Mm.
skill level that was required. In no sano, you can show say oh degree was subject way more, but
Mhm.
to say no oh yeah teaching or ade a would share no a be a science which are there
Mm.
were physics man and say biology and I say chemistry.
Mm.
Into that is my speciality. In
Mm.
no sano, they can look at your qualification, which is your degree, and then the level you are at or the level you attained your degree at. In
Mm.
no Sano, it helps because the degree in itself and answer
Mhm.
will teaching qualification now one
Mhm.
will come to make one of the requirements which is mandatory
Okay.
into without a level 3 or upwards skill level now you will not be able to even apply to this role, so you have to make sure say well degree and now say well, teaching diploma now is from a level 300
Mhm.
upwards, and that is 20 points because it's a mandatory requirement Ninti.
Mhm.
You need to be able to get that 20 points to be able to meet
Mm.
the first hurdle. After the skill level, no, almost say at least brofo kasa no, wobɛtumi atwerɛ, akenkan, akasa, ate aseɛ sɛ say ɛna yɛ communicate wɔ borɔfo kasa no mu
Mhm.
nti
Mhm.
reading, writing,
Right. In.
listening, and speaking. You have to be able to communicate with your audience.
Mm.
It's a
Mm.
so another 10 points. It's a only degree they will expect say obey bibi a mo friend no IELTS.
Mhm.
And no no um English language requirements.
Mm.
You see, IELTS no, you would have to take it at a level B2.
Yeah.
And no is testing the different ranges I just mentioned.
Mm.
Reading, writing, speaking, and listening.
Listening.
Nti, so to me, and no at a level B2, then
Mhm.
at least when say when you have 10 points for the mandatory requirement.
Mm.
And then the third mandatory requirement, say ubenya sa ade a yɛfrɛ no COS, Certificate of Sponsorship. Nti ɛno no saa no sɛ school bi wɔ ha, let's say primary school bi anaasɛ secondary school anaa koraa mpo sɛ college bi wɔ
Mm.
kurom ha,
Mhm.
the application sɛ wopɛ sɛ wobɛkyerɛ adeɛ wɔ kurom ha,
Mm.
ɔmo ahwɛ wo required skill level,
Mm.
ɔmo ahwɛ wo English language requirements, ɔmo
Mhm.
gye di sɛ woyɛ obi a wobɛtumi akyerɛ adeɛ because ebi a wowɔ experience wɔ adekyerɛ mu nti
Mm.
wobɛtumi abɛkyerɛ adeɛ wɔ kurom ha. Nti
Mm.
ɛno no saa no na ɔmo aka akyerɛ wo sɛ okay yɛbɛma wo adwuma no nti yɛma wo biribi a yɛfrɛ no certificate of sponsorship.
Mhm.
Ɛno no ɛbɛkyerɛ sɛ yɛn ɛna yɛbɛsponsor wo because school no it has to be an approved sponsor license holder.
Mm.
Any school. It has to be a school which is on Home Office sponsor license holders list. Nti
Mm.
ɛno no saa no ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔmo ɛwɔ license a ɔmo bɛtumi ɛde nkurɔfoɔ efi amanɔne aba. Into COS no would detail the role you are coming as. So you are coming as a secondary school teacher. On the
Mhm.
method so say we a secondary school teacher. And
Mm.
then we'll put on there their license number, also reference number, or contract term into term a wɔn de ɛma wo as in wobɛkyerɛ adeɛ from this year to 2026 nti ɛno no sa no na wɔn de ato contract no so then of course if they are going to maintain you too they will let you know maintenance no ɛna sometimes nkurɔfoɔ don't really think about it sɛ CEO no wɔn anteke so say they will maintain you then it means that wo a wobɛkyerɛ adeɛ wɔ kurom ha you should be able to show say oh 1,270 pounds pounds ɛnyɛ Ghana cedis 1,270 pounds in your account for at least 28 days
28 days.
and it has been held there for the past 30 days. In Senono Sano, you have to have that money in your account before you make the application. And so you have to have that £1,270 in your account. And to me, and can say, oh, Nasi can them from this week. Last week,
Eh,
next week, me here sikano intimate. Sikano be
Person kakra.
it has to be held in there for almost a month.
And,
So
mm.
it looks like you can't touch that money. It's just
Yes. We
when you're
application
from
area.
that. Yes. Now, what I say, oh, this is kind of, but within that period, no, you would not be able to touch that money. In say, no, no, sana, I say, what she says, as kano, account, ma, ube to me, there, say, I ube to me, meet financial requirements now, or more kano, and it's just for 1 month. And see, you don't need
Yeah.
anything more than that. In say, no, no, sana, once you've been able to meet that, there's also something they call genuineness
Genuine.
requirement.
Uh-huh.
Into so also better idea. So to me, Eka say your intention is to come and teach.
Teach.
Into and yes, say, hey, me to say almost teachers into me so may
Neighbor.
application the aba over and one may teaching no. So if your mama 2 years, I 2 years no best so.
Uh-huh.
Who say so we application to extend. So one year
Mm.
teaching and because you didn't come on the premise of the genuineness test. Into genuineness test no ever hot. Into you
Yeah.
don't joke with no because
Mm.
for what one reason or the other you will need to extend your leave and they will look
Yeah.
at whether you actually came to do the teaching like you said.
Uh-huh.
Instead also ever hot. And then we have the salary
Yeah.
level.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In Senono Sano is also another 20 points because you need a total of 70 points. Answer
Okay.
both your application. Into COS no, 20 points.
Yeah.
The approved skill level 20 points.
20 points.
English
Okay.
language no, 10 points. And
Mm-hmm.
then the salary level is also another 20 points.
Points. When you was
Home office,
70.
yes. Home office, like I said, threshold no for the salary no is
Uh-huh.
38,700. But then
Uh,
there are categories where it can be lower than the 38,700.
mpacho hold on wo ho. Point no yen share see biom.
Okay.
First one no 20 point first one here the skill level no.
Yes, into
Okay.
approved skill level.
And
Yes.
then the English is 10
10
points.
points.
And I
Yes.
pay so no na salary level no so 20 points.
20 points. And then you have
Okay.
another 20 points for the COS.
COS. Oh, okay. 20
Yes.
points. It's na akoye 70.
Yes.
Uh
Yes.
yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a salary level, no home office, like I said, it has to be 38,700.
Yeah.
But obviously, there are certain jobs where you can have it lower than the
Done.
38,700 because
Okay.
38,700 debut
Ebi wo
wumpa.
pa.
Employer ne say always your sika na then it means the sika na besa.
Yes. It's a bit a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot
Uh,
of money. In
mm,
say almost say almost bejo as a teacher there. Usually on our immigration list, we have different categories. So
yes.
we have PhD lecturer, and I said, why a PhD? Or chair there as a lecturer, then
Mm-hmm.
they can reduce the salary by 90%. So
Okay.
this is yes, so this is somebody, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
who's specialized in something and is now a lecturer at the university. It's a so at 38,700, no, it can
Mm,
be reduced to 90% or the going rate of that lecturer's job within the year.
Mm. Is
Nti
it
ɛno
only for lectures and other areas as well?
So this is specifically for lecturers.
For
And see,
lectures,
Enono,
okay.
yes, Enono is about 34,800 thereabouts for
Okay.
the salary. And then
Okay.
you also have
Mhm.
somebody who, for instance, has come, wants to um complete their degree. And so Oma
Mhm.
completing a degree and
Mhm.
have they're saying that they've come from the student visa route and they are switching.
Mhm.
Obisa, no, they've called them a new entrant. They have the
Okay.
lowest should I say
Salary.
salary band because they are
Mhm.
new entrants.
Mhm.
They would usually say that they can pay them 70% less
Mhm.
when it comes to the salary level. In some
Mhm.
also have that advantage. But Obi
Mhm.
Ofri Ghana, Eba, and then
Mhm.
they're saying that they want to come as a teacher.
Mhm.
Usually the teacher, like we said, is not on that
Mhm.
immigration salary list. And so they
Oh,
don't have low salary rates for them. So
mhm.
instead, they will expect say we will be a over better idea. Then they
Yeah.
have to pay you at that
Mhm.
higher rate of the
Mhm.
38,700 pounds that they are looking for when it comes to the teaching role. Into
Okay.
that is something that most employers will have to think
Consider.
about, yes, before they
Mm.
grant you a COS as well.
But ɛhɔ no sɛ teaching payment I mean salary nankasa teachers no mefa sɛ sɛ secondary school foɔ deɛ no sɛ original nea ɛyɛ threshold a yɛnim ɛwɔ yɛwɔ London waiting ne outer London waiting no sɛ ndu 38,000 that does mean sɛ ɔntumi employ obi from outside because ɔmo ankasa ɔmo salary range a ɔmo tua for almost all the teachers within that school no ɛndu 38,000 no na kyerɛ sɛ nipa ko a ɔno yɛkɔfa no firi abɔnten aba no mmom ɔsɛ ɛtua no 38,000. Is that how it means? Anaasɛ there is something that they can do about it?
So I know, so on the immigration rules,
Mhm.
just under, yeah, appendix
Mm,
skilled worker occupation codes, they
mm,
have different categories. So they have somebody who is under the SOC 2020, which was introduced just from the 4th of April this year.
mm,
There were
mm,
those that came before. And see, those
mhm,
that came before, they didn't have
mhm.
to meet this requirement because
Yeah. Mm,
obviously there wasn't any high salary rate of
yeah.
38,700.
Mm,
And there wasn't,
mm,
obviously, those who came on the secondary school level, for instance, as maths and
mhm,
science teachers, could have
mhm.
been paid even lower than
Yeah.
the salary level before.
Mm,
But
mm,
now, where
mhm,
we have our new immigration salary list. The
mm.
immigration salary list does not contain teachers or any teaching role under that salary list where you can say, yes, I can fall under this list in may salary and as a rates now
Mhm,
can be
mhm.
lower in terms of how much they can
Uh,
pay me.
okay.
When you come under your appendix skilled worker now, they
Mhm.
have different categories of salary
Left.
rate where if
Mm,
you meet those criteria, you can have it
mm,
reduced. And see, if for instance you are on the immigration salary list, then you are looking at something around 30,000 or even
okay.
less.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, or even less, because that way then you can say that okay, I can be paid less than that
The
actual
30.
38,700, and see that will meet
Mm,
the requirements somehow.
mm,
And if you're a PhD holder, you have a different salary list. If you're a new
left.
entrant, you also have a different salary list as well.
Mm.
And from where healthcare workers also
Oh,
different,
salary list.
yes, different salary.
Ah.
Yes, so they have all these different categories of job roles where, for instance, if you met certain requirements, you can have a lower salary threshold than that
Mm,
700. But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Matthias, so that means there is a particular list of salaries. Home office for ankasa a list immigration there being salary
mm,
list so.
yeah,
Na
yeah,
say wo come I mean say area skill that no enka sa list ne ho na che say mo na sa 38,007 no wo mamo.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Aha, but
yeah,
say more skill no was salary list ne so and said there is a particular threshold you can come a little bit lower or a little bit higher. Says
yeah.
anatie.
Pachai.
Oh, I feel
Yeah.
Matthias. Oh, now I don't know man fati chese for the anchor. Eh? I don't know man fati chese for the
I'm making
anchor.
it listener wide. And to say,
Eh.
I say, oh, do you know what? When it comes to math teachers and science teachers, you hear more and see. Say almost to me, but sincerely, there is
Oh,
open. It's a very opened list.
but anyway, off the topic, no. On say
Yes, yeah,
ahano. Even to go and train as a teacher, science teacher or math teacher, no, there are so much incentive, many incentives are the mouth. Enti
mm,
nka no saa no a wotumi okosua ade na yɛtumi kyɛw sika bebree na just to go and learn these subjects na fa kyerɛ no ade na nanka that area no nti saa
yeah,
yɛ from subject area no kramrevi but math science all the science subjects na any
yeah,
math in particular no we have a
yes,
special treat for them ade na nka ɔmo
yeah.
nyɛ ne saa
Oh,
na
but
nka
they
ɔmo bɛka
limited.
list ne ho
It's true because, like you are saying, the STEM subjects, science, technology,
STEM na word na
engineering,
mehwehwɛ na yeah.
engineering and maths. Obviously,
Mm,
when it comes to those subject areas, they should
mhm.
obviously make an allowance. But they've only made an allowance for those who have it at a PhD
PhD
level,
level.
which I don't really understand why they've
Eh,
limited it to just PhD level.
oh,
It's the
it's
I
the
don't know,
PhD
Sano,
level, 90%.
yeah,
Nti 90% ɛwɔ 38,700 na ɛbɛba bɛyɛ can you say? Na ɛsɛ
I
sɛ
think,
ɛbɛba a little bit oh deɛ yɛwie ɛbɛyɛ math no but well ɔhɔ no mewɔ interest wɔ hɔ nti ɔsɛ mehwɛ
yes.
ne yie ɛhɛn yo Eunice ɛyɛ woakyerɛkyerɛ mu ɛmmere nso ɛrekɔ na sɛsi a yɛhu up to mɛfɛn sɛ 5 things a ɔsɛ yɛnya when you want to come as a teacher no baby every and kakra salary level no but then I know said there are some schools omo to me etua higher because I've been in a me tray I was school be just for a short while and my one family full time but you can say like sad time no mommy let me say 40 pounds an hour so it is a 40 pounds an hour na nka omo fa full time I said about me say be do 38,000 na
Yeah, of course.
nkebedu
I think that especially from
nkebedu
secondary school level upwards, almost to a higher. Yeah,
nkebedu so
yeah,
nti no
yeah,
definitely me sure say
yeah.
nke ekyiri mbusa ana nchiasa bibi hope
Yes,
wo ho nti ebe
yes.
investigate further na yahwe how best we can also support people na nse me yesen kasa skill ho anhwan no menye biom too much wahala ma me but then when opportunity comes now wakuma just ain't me ignore you try to support people one way or the other nti ebehwe na ya hwe further nti se sia no wakyerɛ yɛ we nyinaa menya all this is the process going to be the same as senior na carers for the year na kyerɛ sɛ wenya wo COS everything is in order na afei wayɛ application no na wenya anaa biribi foforɔ sɛ wosan yɛ bi because somebody is also saying sɛ no or sɛ woyɛ dɛ wo apply for QTS ansa na ɔmo approve ansa na wode account no ayɛ application nokora bɛn na ɛwɔ mu.
Not necessarily that you have to apply for
Mhm,
QTS like
mm,
they are saying.
mm,
When it comes to approved skill levels,
yeah.
obviously it looks at things like your teaching diploma that you have or your degree
Mm,
that you have. I know,
okay.
say, when it comes to certain schools, they
Yeah.
may require you to do the
To get
QTS, like you said,
mm,
because
mm,
those
mm,
specific schools would like somebody who has the
training.
QTS. Yes.
Mm,
And to
mm,
say, if you think you can do that, then of
mm,
course, why not do it so that, of course, when they say they are taking you on, they can take you on with that assurance that you've qualified as a
yeah.
teaching professional and they will be taking you on. And see,
Okay.
that said,
Mhm.
I would always say is that if your qualification doesn't meet that QTS level, then look for other employers that will be able to take you on based on what you already have. But if you are able to complete that QTS, then why not?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, Matias, yɛbɛkɔ so. Now, sisi a yɛhu na process na wobɛyɛ application no, sɛ saa na wobɛkɔ so na wayɛ wa wode bɛkɔ, you just go online, apply, fill the forms. Sɛ wowɔ abusuafo a na wode aka. Nti with the teachers there no, ɔmo no, are they allowed to bring their spouses anaa?
Yes. And so with the teacher role, you're allowed to
Mhm,
bring your husband, your wife, and also
mhm,
your children. And see,
mhm,
this one is open. And to say care routes are more closer, you
mhm,
bringing your dependents with
mhm,
this role. Over to me, at the hokafo, and the womba, aka ho, at the aba. And in
mhm,
regards to the financial requirements, like I said, so omufi almanone, omufi Ghana, and a eba, they should
mhm,
have a certain amount in their accounts. I think for the spouse, it will be about £385 for
mhm.
the first month, and then each additional child will
Oh,
be, I
wow.
think, 200 and 80 something pounds. So it keeps going on as you add more people, then the amount that you should have for that month will
Mhm,
increase. And then if you yourself are coming as a teacher, dear,
mhm, mhm,
no, say you still have to do the tuberculosis test
mhm,
because you are coming from a country which is at risk of tuberculosis. And
mhm,
so you have to do a nono, which is valid for 6 months. And then you
mm,
have to do something that they call a criminal record check.
mhm,
So that criminal record check,
mm,
because what you are there will Ghana and see, they want to know, say, you haven't done anything which is unlawful or which
mhm,
will jeopardize your role here in the UK. And so the SAR criminal record check and also
mm,
and you also need to present your COS and asset certificate of sponsorship to
mm,
show say when you're a
mhm,
Jumano. You
mm,
also need to present your bank statement to show say oh was that £1,270 no in your account at the date
mm,
of the application. And then
mm.
you also need to present your qualifications into whether
Qualifications.
it's undergraduate degree, master's
Mhm,
degree, whatever degree that you may have or diploma that you may have, it should be a level 3 or upwards
mhm, mm,
level. And last but not the least, you should be able to show, say, you are coming with that salary level that we just spoke about
mhm,
and see if it's the 38,700, it is clearly listed on the COS that this is what your salary
mm.
level would be.
Okay, wow. So, ɛno na la Eunice akyerɛkyerɛ mu de akyerɛ yɛn no. Wohwɛ step by step na trust me. Ɛyɛ yɛtumi yɛ ɛnyɛ den bi asa. Ɛno asa wode hwehwɛ school no. If you have all these qualifications within your coffers na hwehwɛ school no. Na ɛne ɔmo nka, you can send them an email first to begin with. Na wa introduce wo ho na afei woapɔ wo qualifications ne de akyerɛ mo ɛne nneɛma experience a wowɔ in teaching ne adeade no nyinaa wode ka ho. Some of the schools no ɔmo ntumi resist, ɔmo hu sɛ akora wei waben wɔ adekyerɛ mu a de ɔmo resist o, ɔmo go ahead to ask you further questions na ɔmo hu how they can issue with the COS to come and teach as a teacher anaasɛ a lecturer. Nti mo yɛnhwɛ ɛhɔ no nso ne yɛngyae kɛɛ no because afei kɛɛ no mmom yɛyɛ abrɛ mu dodoɔ no ɛbaeɛ na sɛbi obi baeɛ a first job a ɛne ne kɔ after ɔyɛ induction wie a first job a yɛgya ɔno nko ara kɔɔeɛ na ɔkɔeɛ ara na sɛbi ɔkɔfeeɛ na kyerɛ sɛ adwuma no ɛnyɛ adeɛ a obɛtumi ayɛ. So ohu adeɛ no nti sɛ a yɛsi genuineness ɛnso ka ho. Woyɛ sure sɛ adwuma no wobɛyɛ anaasɛ aburokyi no ara na wopɛ sɛ woba. Sɛ aburokyi no ara na wopɛ sɛ woba no a ɛne adwuma no ɛne wo kurom ɛbɛ frustrate wo, ɛbɛ frustrate wo dearly. Ɛna kurom a nso teaching no ɛnte sɛ Ghana teaching no ɛnte sɛ Ghana teaching no nti no ɔsɛ wonya saa passion for teaching no ɛno ne genuineness ne passion sɛ ampa nea ɔkyerɛkyerɛ ni I love teaching nti sɛ baabi a ɛbɛtu ne me akɔ biara no mɛtumi astanding retain myself na metumi akyerɛ adeɛ no saa na ɛteɛ. Some of the secondary schools gra wodo hɔ na wo accent na wode di kan ba yɛtumi twitwi waa 1 year ansa na you start correcting your accent to start na wode brɔfosɛm kakra astart ahyehyɛ mu enti saa na ɛteɛ ba ne nyinaa mu no it's fun. Ne nyinaa mu no it's worth it. Let me put it that way. It's worth it. Sɛ wotumi nya school ha na wobɛkyerɛ adeɛ a hwɛ nneɛma a wobɛkɔ mu whatever ne nyinaa at the end of the day no ɛyɛ ɛbɛsombo de ama wo enti madam ase na afei deɛ maybe a telephone lines no mempɛ sɛ bisa further question maybe a telephone lines no na wowɔ question bi a wopɛ sɛ obisa no akwanya ɛwɔ hɔ not necessarily sɛ wopɛ sɛ wobɛkyerɛ adeɛ wɔ ha. There are so many skills it's definitely in line with nea yɛaka no skills bebree wɔ hɔ bɔmpae sɛ ɔmo salary list no ɛnka ɔmo salary no ɛnka the immigration list na yɛde aba no ɛne deɛ ka ho deɛ a wenya wo ti agye mu na kyerɛ sɛ 38,700 na ɛnhyɛ da bebree apply to you enti yɛnhwɛ menya me first caller wode wama no ansi koraa ɔdɔfo a wafrɛ patɔ yɛfrɛ wo sɛ na wokasa frɛ.
Good morning, Mr. Frame Roger, because free card as well.
Yo, mommy, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Patro, wait me be a question.
Okay, Patro, why Eunice? There's a family which you want but now me say me this a question about ABI teaching assistant. Oba has a student, maybe a postgraduate, and now when you was special needs school as a teaching assistant.
Okay.
On my already say on best for now say this and but the person what it entails say okay members for that no COS near found because you're in a special needs school. Also, different from the normal and mainstream
yes.
school. Qualification be one I say the IHS
okay, all right. Go school no na say like we graduate no ha. Masters wa ha and now we nya school or more for special needs.
As a teaching
assistant. Oh, okay. All right. Qualification dear honor. You be more training or so training now because more areas no different kakra. And to be training when they employ Oh, okay.
About visa, immigration stuff
right.
Yeah, to say acquire under care, health care, necessary education, but the same work under health care. And no, IHS no,
okay. Yo. Nti ene lo Eunice, pacho we dey come out. Ne nyina special needs no in a way no, we in education. Care in education. So more your further application no or IHS no. Is there a way they can waive it for them? And but just says I know question no. Okay, Matthias.
Okay. And see, I think so when it comes to you teaching as a special education needs teacher, it is part of all the different roles and answer categories now. Maybe boss or no. And see, and no sano, it doesn't specifically look at a qualification within what you have said right now. And say, for instance, if you are a teaching assistant for a disabled child, they don't specify in the immigration rules say so to me yeah this particular qualification in order to be given a COS as long as it's a level 3 qualification upwards, that's all that is needed. When it comes to IHS payments, there IHS payments is only reserved for normal care routes and as a healthcare worker route.
Medical health.
Yes. And so and was reserved payments
IHS.
when it comes to IHS. Everybody else has to pay the immigration health surcharge of £1,035 a year.
Okay, well, even though a sort of care by it's under education and any health care.
Yeah. any
Okay.
healthcare route no so there be.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Maame, megye say what ye ho na ase nti no nsunsuan kakra ewom. But school no nso ama o COS na ene wotiri nkwa na ye application no na afi de enye omunye ma but we no na o ka say enfole under healthcare nti no yo yɛnhwɛ yɛwɔ question bi mccc ade te sɛ meyi saa ade wei na mehu adeɛ papa yɛwɔ question bi shulemiti anaa shulamint wodi no mambɔ ne yi afa kyɛ me wae asamoa mesrɛ wo mambɔ wodi no yi afa kyɛ me ɔse please what if you apply for a post study visa and then you work as a carer in bracket agency, can you apply for an IHS refund? And patron question here.
Usually with agencies, no, they are
Mm,
not very much, should I say, under the category of NHS bodies or what
mm,
I will put there as a care company. So
mm,
if it's an agency, the individual who is Miss Shulamite, she
mm-hmm,
may have to request IHS refund no on her own. She will need to
mm,
show evidence of the fact that she has worked for a particular care company, her
mm-hmm,
pay slips, and the letter from that care company to show that she is indeed working for them. And maybe she started working from there a year ago or whatever. And then she can
mm,
make that request herself online. In
mm.
Senono Saso. Yeah.
Okay, me wa question audio baako bi wa membo na ansa ma peke ne ɛwɔ his okay, ma membo
Hello, good morning, Manyanati. Good morning, Lawyer Eunice. Yɛda ase na adwuma pa a mobɔ ma Ghanaian community. Na me ɔnhyira mu nyinaa. With a quick question. Pastor Madam for baako, ɔno ne yere asɛprɛti. Ɛna yɛ ɔbaa no da kɔ CMS foɔ no hɔ. Na me ne ɔbaa no di nkɔmmɔ no, ɔse CMS foɔ no atwerɛ no awerɛki sika dodoɔ a ɔmbɛtua ama no ɛne backdate, ɔma backdate ne 3 months.
mm,
Ɛna ɔmayɛ sɛ every week biara wɔde wobɛtua.
mm,
However, the CMS foɔ no asɛnde letter aba sɛ ɔmo trust mu sɛ bɛka sika no. But bɛrima no nsa nkae because ɔbaa no ɔapply no collect and pay.
mm,
Ɔyɛ ne sɛ CMS foɔ no na ɔmo ntua ama no. But still na
mm,
CMS foɔ de letter aba sɛ ɔmo nya ɛnka sika. But me maa adwene kyerɛ me sɛ collect and pay no kyerɛ sɛ nkɔba akɔgye sika no bɛrima no hɔ no na ɔmo de aba. But sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ collect and pay no kyerɛ sɛ bɛrima no bɛtua ama ɔmo na ɔmo de ayɛ. Te sɛ ɛno no option bɛn na ɔdeɛ na ɛbɛsi.
mm.
Ɔka sɛ ɔntua biribiara ɛnsi wɔbɛfa no ho ade anaa sɛ ɛho asɛm te sɛ CMS no sɛ wode obi kɔ na sɛ ɔretu no sɛ wontua ma ɔmo no a ɛho asɛm te sɛ meda ase.
Mm. Okay. And it's a
So
child maintenance support. And
maintenance, yeah. Usually
Odiako.
with
Okay.
child maintenance payments, no,
Mm-hmm.
they do it directly with the employer in mind. Into for instance,
Mm-hmm.
if the employer is paying them £1,000 a month, they
Mm-hmm.
collect it as source into HMRC will know that they
Mm,
have to deduct this
yeah.
amount from
Mm-hmm.
Nipacroni pay no
Mm-hmm.
before ne nsa ɛbɛka saa
Mm-hmm.
sika no
Mm-hmm.
nti if the employer knows that saa nipa wei no ɛyɛ sɛ yɛtwa child maintenance because
Mm-hmm.
ɛyɛ bi a HMRC for no aka kyerɛ yɛn sɛ he's due for child maintenance at this amount, then they would obviously take it at source. Nti
Mm-hmm.
saa na usually ɔmo yɛ no.
Mm-hmm.
If she was going for it directly, then she would definitely not need the child maintenance to even be collecting the money on her behalf. But because she's obviously said that she wants them to collect it and then she receives it, then they will collect
Sorry.
the source. Unless ABR, the employer is saying that he hasn't worked there for some time or he's not meeting a certain income threshold, so they are not willing to pay. But usually they take it from source, and so the employer will be informed, say, "Sanimpa we no, so this amount of child maintenance," and then they will have to inform the person, say, "We have to take this amount from your pay because." HMRC for no, I'm a you who say you have to pay child maintenance.
Okay. Yɛate hɔ no aseɛ. Nti mpakyɛw yɛ papa a ɔde message ne baeɛ no, ma ka kyerɛw sɛ yɛ ansa nti wotie anaa woanya w'ansa no. Wei nso asɛn ne aba. Professor, sɛ woanya wobɛtumi de ato so, nyɛ saa I can read from here. Ɔse, please, I would like to invite my 58-year-old mom to UK next year for a visit on childbirth and blessings. She's a farmer, owns provision shop, has a house, married with children and grandkids, marriage registered, shop, farm, and house registered as she did everything together with dad. She has a Momo account. I send her money monthly. She has NIB personal bank account where at times she puts some small money in as savings and at times withdraw it from the bank and Momo account and spend it. Please, how can I prove her case so I can get visa for her? I will sponsor. She don't do government job in Ghana. The question is, ntɔpɛ sɛ ɔto nsa frɛ ne maame de ba na ɔmbɛboa ne yere bɛwo na yɛasan hyira sɛ akwadaa no anaasɛ awareɛ no so. Nti no obisa sɛ ɔbɛyɛ dɛn nneɛma a ne maame yɛ nie. Onya 58 years. Oni regular income. Mehu sɛ bank na ɔka government bank na kyerɛ sɛ oni regular income but onya neɛ ɔtontɔn nneɛma kakra ne ade no de gum. Nti no obi saa no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔno ano sponsor biribiara. Kwan bɛn na ɔbɛfa so anaa ɔbɛtumi ayɛ. Ɔbɛyɛ nso a dɛn na ɔsɛ ɔyɛ.
It's very detailed, and so it's good that he or she had the detailed,
Yeah.
should I say, information of what his
That's
mother
correct.
does or what her mother does.
Mm,
And so when
mm,
it comes to visit visa applications,
mhm,
like we always say, almost person who say nipa no all bano ampa genuinely no or
mm,
babesra sa nipa no all kind no now assign a chi akobak. And
mm,
this is a very good scenario because in most cases, say grandmother
mhm,
no back from her abesra ne ba ene ne nana. This is a good scenario in terms of why they
mm,
need to come and visit. Nti ne ba no ebi a ohun no for 5 years. Ne
mhm,
ba no ɛbɛwo. Nti ɔpɛ sɛ ɔbɛhwɛ ne ba no ɛne ne nana. Nti when you're making this application, you have to put on there that
mhm,
this is a family member and I said this is your mother. And so we
mhm,
invitation letter no will have the details as to why you want her to come and
mm,
then the fact that you are also going to sponsor her. I know say nipa ko no ɛyɛ adwuma, so I don't know how much the person earns, but at least say woyɛ adwuma a wode wo pay slips and your bank statements for 6 months ɛbɛka ho. And you need to be able to show say ebi as a woman may ɛba for 3 months you
mhm,
have that amount of money showing in your bank balance that
mm,
that's the car way and I said what was savings
mhm,
to me at their share mommy and see
mm,
if your bank balance is not enough but
mhm,
now with the savings accounts no aba sɛnea wombehu
mm,
sɛ ade so wɔ savings nso wo maame ba a ɛnyɛ ade a wobɛka sɛ aban no
Wobɛkɔ.
ɛnhwɛ because wankasa wobɛtumi ahwɛ wo maame
Mm,
nti your
mm,
invitation letter pays these bank statements whether it's savings accounts or current accounts with bank balance you can
mhm,
provide that as well any tenancy agreement because fie na ɔbɛda a you should provide
mm,
tenancy agreements and now mortgage deed if the house
mhm.
is owned by you. Let's
Okay.
go to mommy
Mhm,
her side. So when it comes to the mother, like Owakano, she's married. So provide evidence of the marriage certificate,
mhm,
her children's birth certificates if they are in Ghana,
mhm,
um, the shop registration, maybe no,
mm,
and no, nkeka ho.
mhm,
If she, let's say, has the farm which is registered,
mhm,
and then she has somebody who helps her with the shop and
mhm,
otua saa nimpa no a car, she should provide the Momo statements to show that she pays this person to look after her shop
mm,
for
mm.
her as well. Into
Okay.
the statements should be available for them to also have a look at it.
Mm,
And then when it comes to obviously
mhm,
Momo account na ɛkyerɛ sɛ Nebana or UK Hanum send this command.
Mm,
They can also provide that as a way of showing that or no so Hanum no or send
mm,
mami, or so that she can also look after herself. So they can provide
mm,
those statements as well to show that ne mami no is not just relying on the produce from the farm, but uh,
mm,
so manene bibi. And then of course,
mm,
if the child is also sponsoring to buy the tickets, he has
mhm,
now she has to put it in the letter say oh no
mm,
metro tickets no so or the beba. And see,
mm.
those are the main things that they
On
need
bet
to,
in the account.
yeah, add to
Let's
that.
see. And yes, say now up to October, yeah, okay. Ebe yedin kakra, especially from the mommy who also prove 3 months and half 6 months, you know. And
Say Mamene there, she's just providing Momo statements to
more
show say,
statement.
yeah,
Okay.
Nebana
Into
sending
no,
his car.
any possible. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Into me nua be ma me nua ba the message ni buy no. Possible why? Senior lawyer Eunice actually just follow it and be successful the amount why. So one so to me nya dia Mr. Farmer lawyer or better letter no fefe lawyers need your letters no home office kin kan up no mo yem ahye mo. Me were 4 questions bi wa ha but producer fa ba ko ne to so ma me na yen kan from Nana Ituahene or say please can teachers who are already in the UK on family visa such as 2.5 parent or partner switch to skilled worker route for teaching? How can they do that? Switch no amodi akra dey say no dey koko kra, but how can they switch into hono na ebetumi lawyer Eunice betremo? What about if they are British or settled and previously qualified in Ghana to teach either primary, secondary, or university? How can such people teach in UK without going through skilled worker visa because they are settled or British? Oh, Nanechi Ahene. Teach oh dear, my my lawyer. Now, when it comes to teaching and education, and I said, no, 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 oh, no, no, me. And lion is about your 80.
It's I'll answer the last question first. And see, when it comes to those who are British or settled,
Uh-huh.
they don't need to switch because they're already settled.
Exactly.
They're already British city. And when they say omo kase omo teaching qualifications, omo person omo
Mm-hmm.
chia there. I know they are
Mm-hmm.
a simple cry. It's just about applying for the job and getting it. When it
Mm-hmm.
comes to your what 5 no so now a
Mm-hmm.
your person or share there.
Mm-hmm.
I always say it depends on how much time you have left on the route you are on.
Okay.
Into the ABI why you 2.5 million I count
Mm-hmm.
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there's no difference switching to the skilled worker route because it's the same 5 years
Yes,
now.
Nani Bema. Mm-hmm.
There's no point switching to the skilled worker route unless you are saying, say,
Mm-hmm.
you've been able to get an employer who is
Mm-hmm.
willing to sponsor you and they'll pay you that
Mm-hmm.
38,700 that I was talking about. And say, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
if you are able to get a sponsor and they're saying they will pay you that amount of money and you meet the other requirements there, then
Mm-hmm.
of course with me I switch it from the family route to the skilled worker routes are
Mm-hmm.
Mao that 5 years. But most
Mm-hmm.
schools will not give you 5 years straight. They will give you
Yeah.
some and then they'll give you some later on.
Yɛbɛhwɛ wo performance nso aka ho nti ɛno
Yes.
deɛ ɛneɛ count it wongo scot free
Yes.
te sɛ Ghana akwadaa bi koraa wie a ɛmfa authorities no wei deɛ akwadaa baako wie koraa a wobɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu ne nti ɔweyɛ ɛnti no yɛbɛhwɛ wo performance before they will give you menhwehwɛ wo but ɛyɛ procedure why wobɛtumi ayɛ nti ɛma ne mbɔ wo ho wowɔ kurom ha na wowɔ British passport nko a deɛ straight forward no asɛ ɛbɛma wo ayɛ refresher course na we have back to school courses in so back to teaching courses in so obe from just few months na emma wonsa and to nneɛma bi so especially behavioral patterns what classroom no especially a no say one adeɛ da or say we go through na at least when in the classroom environment there are few things you need to know and yes sebi wa hwan kola no be go in ma support and no yɛnkɔ so ɛlɔ Eunice more question baako bi quite intriguing question or the aba abayewa bi asend me message unfortunately me forward me try sɛ nka mɛforward ama we but me ɔsɛ ɔyɛ adwuma wɔ NHS wayɛ adwuma wɔ NHS for quite some time now na oye mema so oye gay so oye oba na wenya odofo bi a oni na atena ache ewo yinkrom Ghana omatena ache pa basisi ade awei bai onyanka obeto nsa afre ne dofo no na beka ne ho ewa ha na oni ne entena na onim se Ghana nso saa nsɛmsɛm no yɛn nso so yet yɛn gye mu yet enti kwan bɛn na ɔbɛfa so na waware ne dɔfo yi de na aba ha anaasɛ ɔma ware na sɛ okay sɛ krataa wɔ aware no so deɛ fine but ɔmo nni nkrataa ɔma ware to them ɔma ware daba nkrataa ni so na nkyɛ sɛ you have to marry again me dɔ enti no kwan bɛn na ɔbɛtumi akɔfa ne gay partner no ɛde aba kurom a ama abɛ settle with her ɛwɔ ha patwɔ akwanya bi wɔ hɔ anaa.
So when it comes to your partners,
Mhm.
the immigration rules is quite, should I say, flexible. So it's not
Okay.
just limited to ekunu and asayere. So it's not.
Okay.
Let me speak in English a bit because obi
Yeah.
oye Nigerian say of person relating to me de
Yes. Mhm.
frafra.
It's okay.
So
Yes. Mhm.
yes. So when it comes to the partners, it is not
Mhm.
just limited to whether you are a husband or a wife.
Why?
So you
Okay.
can be a spouse or you can
Mhm.
also be a partner who we would say is a durable partner. Not
Okay.
necessarily
Mm.
that you have lived together for 2 years or more, but
Mm.
they will need evidence to show that you have been together.
Okay.
In the
Mm.
Enono Sano, you have to provide evidence that you were
Evidence.
together
Mm.
before you came into the
Mm.
UK.
Mm.
And that evidence could be evidence that you were living together. That evidence
Mhm.
could be evidence that you have a child together. That
Mhm.
evidence could be evidence that other people or official third parties knew that you were a couple. So when it
Mm.
comes to um, showing that you are indeed a
Mhm.
partner, you
Mhm.
have to be able to be proactive to provide the
All
necessary evidence,
this.
yes,
Mm.
to show that
Mm.
indeed you are the partner of so so and so. So when it
Mm.
comes to this, I think say nimpa no is ultimate chere say
Mm.
ampa na dofo no.
Okay. Ne
Yeah.
dɔfono no nti no Ghana deɛ ɛmfa ho sɛ ɔsɔ mo prove with marriage certificate ne ade anaa anaasɛ
I
ɔbɛ
don't think so
invite no.
bring marriage certificates in Crampo.
Onya
Oh
nti no
yeah.
ɔbɛ invite
Yes.
no as ne partner ɛɛba but she need the evidence to show say ampa ɔyɛ
Yes.
nti sɛ you can have
Yes.
official
Third party
people
evidence into
third
a
party.
bia.
Mhm.
Yes. A bia banks no they know
Mhm.
say not they were together so they have joint bank
Sound
statements
okay.
or NHIS,
Mhm.
those sort of third
Mhm.
parties, they have evidence that they were on the same address. I know, so when it
Okay.
comes to Ghana, you can even live in family home, but in this case,
Yeah.
you are
Nti
showing
sɛ
that you are
ɔmo
together.
atɔ asase abom anaa ɔmo asi dan abom a it's a
Yeah,
strong
yes,
evidence right
yes,
yo
yeah.
nti me nua ba sɛ wotie me a list o na okay na ɔrɛ mfi megye di sɛ ɛyɛ possible a wobɛtumi ɛde ayɛ yɛnhwɛ next question nso ɔno nso time okay mewɔ questions o nso no okay baako nso yɛ yɛmaa no ɔbaa kurom akyɛ kakra on army visa ɔbɛyɛ adwuma wɔ army no mu kakra I think less than a year no nya emergency bi wɔ Ghana onya emergency wɔ Ghana no army ne maa no kwan ma ne kɔ emergency situation no but ɔreturn yɛ no wankɔ back to the army sector no ɔreturn no ɔde ne ho bɛtɛɛ ɔbɛhyehyɛ mu ara na ɔkɔ apply school apply school wɔawie uni ayɛ ne masters koraa yɛ mu PhD koraa with the same visa okita no but sisi a no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkɔ Ghana ɔsoro sɛ ɔkɔ Ghana a, saa visa no ɛntumi ma ne mfa ne mba back ɔsi deɛ na ɔbɛyɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkɔ Ghana wabɛtena mu sɛ 20 years koraa na ɔnyanya no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkɔtwa ne ho kakra wɔ Ghana na ɔba bɔsuro Eunice ɛdɛn na ɔbɛtumi ayɛ ne visa no yɛ army deɛ no bi nti no ɛdɛn na ɔbɛtumi army indefinite sɛ saa na no
Oh, say indefinite there, then Mr. Osro. obviously.
Ah.
So
But it was the army that granted. Also,
granted him.
visa.
Yeah,
No, they have a special name for it. I might have forgotten, but they have a special name for
yeah,
their
the
type
armed
of visa.
forces. Yeah,
Armed
yeah,
forces,
yeah,
the hand. No,
yeah,
no, they buy.
yeah.
And or buy or call or force name for some time. No, so when you emergency no coffee. Into return and or go back to the Juman one and or bet name. Enti
Yeah.
obetena mu na odi call school because no say armed force we no bibi sa no yanka say or call school pepepe say wa wie ni school we nya reputable job say were you okay from the field that she took.
Mm,
However opeso okofio so say service and nko ade odi twa border wa hwe a on to me because one call army no nti o say den no betimi ayo betimi obi ware na ebeye yi obetimi aware na den import no betimi ya
yeah.
obetimi amana akwa Ghana aba.
It's different if you have a limited leave based
Uh-huh.
on your employment with the armed forces. Saying
Okay.
indefinite there, not saying settlement there, and the whole
Mm.
bachelor.
Ah,
And the ubenya sem so babaka. But
ah,
the unsa I can win indefinite and I say I feel born now.
uh-huh.
With that, if you haven't gone back to the army, I'm sure say, of course, it depends on your agreement or your terms or
Yeah,
contract with
with them.
that particular barracks or
Mhm.
army post or whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
And in his case, he's saying, say, oh, I'll come back. I'll come back. So at the moment, he's doing his own thing.
Uh-huh.
He got indefinite leave to remain. And
Uh,
Shada Mfahon said he didn't go back into the army
ah.
after he
Enti
had his
yentwe mu nso. Yentwe mu
yeah.
nso wɔ system a onim.
Yes. Into
Ah, well.
because it's indefinite or because it's his
Mm.
settlement, he can go and come
Come back.
anytime. Even
Hey,
though it's
aye
under
ho.
the armed forces, he can still go and come back at any
Aye
time.
ho. Aye ho. Share. Anyway, Emrico, there is one question.
Yeah.
Kojo time you are born 11, and I also need to report somewhere. And you know, there may be some question. I mean, Annie. The English version of today's program. I'll reserve the two questions that I've got. No, Nyame Adamo, community and the law. I might pop by and then hand these questions to them. And you know, Yansha Kojoza, Kojo Boatin there. No, see, my sister on skilled worker applied to bring his two children. It has been refused because Home Office says their dead father cause of death was not produced. They only produced death certificate. Hey, Home Office, Home Office say cause of death no man produce, but just death certificate. You yati Home Office also the omo yeah can say Eunice. Then also,
Okay.
yeah, now death certificate ni cause of death, no. Anyway, me from the legal terms, of course, there might be difference, but yeah,
So when it comes to a refusal, usually you have the option of administrative review.
Okay.
Into if he's saying say it hasn't been that long ago and they
Mm-hmm.
are still within the 28 days there, he can
Mm-hmm.
apply for administrative review to say
Mm-hmm.
as long as they've produced evidence of the fact that he is dead, he's gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The children need to be with their
Yeah,
father,
mom.
their
Mm-hmm.
mother here in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Into and no sano, yes, they wanted a cause of death. There's something called the medical death certificate that they issue when the person dies, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's the actual death certificate that the
Certificate. Okay.
registry office also
Mm-hmm.
produce. Into the birth and death registry will produce the death certificate, and then the
Mm-hmm.
hospital will usually produce that medical death
It's
certificate
true.
now
To make the count.
or more canon.
Mm-hmm.
Into of course, if he wants, he can go to the hospital where
Mm-hmm.
he was found dead or he died, and then they can do that
Na
for him or
onya mortuary papers ɛkyɛ sɛ yɛde ne baasa because tie woka the hospital no there are a whole lot of deaths I see wɔ kurom a yɛmfa ɔmo nkɔ hospital yɛhu
her.
nti mbia biribi asi a yɛmfa yɛne ɔmo bɛkɔ mortuary straight because nipa no wewu wɔ fie biribi ato
Yeah.
ne hɛn nti mbia yɛtam na
Mm.
mortuary straight ne yɛne ne kɔ nti sɛ mortuary is able to produce I mean, say yes. Documentation be a trust the dead body neighbor on there. Can these documents also be used to apply?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
If, for instance, Marco no
Mm-hmm.
na unka say the mortuary has
Mm-hmm.
evidence that this person was buried
Mm-hmm.
on their grounds. Yes, of
Mm-hmm.
course. Why not? You
Mm-hmm.
can include all of that. Pictures of the dead body. If they want to
Mm-hmm.
see it, you can include it and then
Mm-hmm.
send it off.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, ntia because I had the ne kwan so by all means who feel cry but foul echo hospital first and son ya approve and pass away ambulance be by a be sure ni nyina wo ho but yen krom sometimes it doesn't happen that way ntia no or say a share alternative say ankoba ni sa then now so yeah if you still want to go further with some of these questions that we've asked now still a wo yan chiremo a encourage you obetumi afre lawyer Eunice e won number ne so producer fatu o ma me wa mpacho obetumi afre lawyer Eunice so de mebobọ na wa ma further way ba with that no yen hwe yenuaba ani okay 0753581310 ufre lawyer Eunice echiri a obetumi achechu mu further na better still book a consultation with them. You can have a telephone consultation, you can have a video consultation, you can have one-to-one consultation. Now, on to move further and how best they can support you to get your visa approved. Now, Obeba as a teacher. Enkechi, yenuaba Annie, Pacho, let's hear from you.
Hello, good morning to all our viewers. So, the topic for today was, can one apply as a teacher to come and work in the UK? And the answer is yes. So, the person would come into the UK as a skilled worker. A skilled worker is someone who has basically received a certificate of sponsorship from an employer in the UK, whereby the employer has agreed to sponsor that person's application for them to come to the UK in order to work for them. So, as lawyer Eunice said, today we specifically looked at teachers coming into the UK, and honestly, it covers every type of teacher. So whether you are a nursery school teacher, or you are a primary school teacher, a secondary school teacher, or even if you, for example, teach people in sixth form or college or at university, it also covers assistant teachers as well, and also those who provide, for example, assistance to students who have any type of special needs. So we looked at the eligibility requirements which have to be met when you're putting in such an application. And there are basically 70 points which have to be met, which I'll just go through quickly. So, firstly, is the certificate of sponsorship, which is worth 20 points. So, the certificate of sponsorship will set out, obviously, the role that you have. It will set out how much you will get paid, and also whether your employer will maintain you or not. So there's like a box, and the employer would tick that box or not. So if the employer says that they will maintain you, that's good. But if the employer doesn't say that they will maintain you, it means that you, as the skilled worker, you'd have to maintain yourself, which means that you have to show that you have money in your account to maintain yourself. So specifically, they would look at your bank account, and they would expect you to have at least £1,270 in your account for at least 30 days. So that is worth £20, 20 points. Then you also have the genuine vacancy requirement, whereby you have to show that the job that you are going to do in the UK is genuine. So the Home Office, they can carry out their checks to make sure that indeed the job exists and that it's not some type of sham or fake job that you have created just to allow you to enter into the UK. Then we have the requirement that the job has to be at the appropriate job level, and that is worth 20 points as well. So the degree that you have, or the diploma that you obtained in the country where you're coming from, let's say your home country, it has to be equivalent to at least a level 3 here in the UK. So, for example, in Ghana, if you do a diploma, it can be at level 300, 400, 500, 600, but you have to make sure that it's equivalent to level 3 at least or upwards. So that is worth another 20 points. And then there's the English language requirement, which you have to, pass and sit at level B2. And that is just needed to show that you can speak English well, you can listen, understand English well, and that you can write English well as well. So that is worth 10 points. So far that's worth 50 points. And then you have the salary level, which is worth 20 points. So altogether that's the 70 points. So normally the skilled worker would be expected to earn at least £38,700. But as Lawyer Eunice said, for certain teachers, there's a reduction. So, for example, for PhD lecturers, it can be reduced to 90%, for example. And in terms of the evidence or how to go about the application, you just fill out the application online. You have to, go for a tuberculosis test depending on where you're from. So if you're from Ghana, you definitely have to have that test done. You have to also provide your COS, which is your certificate of sponsorship. You have to provide your qualification, of course, to show what qualification you have, what you're able to teach, whether it's maths, English, geography, whatever it is. And then also you have to ensure that you are able to prove that you meet the salary level. So if you're able to provide any bank statements to that effect, that would be helpful. So that's just a quick summary for today. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you to my dear sister. Yes. So I mean, yeah, now we've come to the end of your time. Cry is far gone. But then let me come back to la Eunice. Sorry, Bibi or how do we Diana?
Okay, in terms of your topic, now I know that it raised up a lot of questions for people
Yeah.
to ask. Into say more share ye chira kwanya.
Mm-hmm.
Usually ye will London into say wo pese unyen everything kita you can come to the office at the fourth floor of Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, London. Code near N154NP. So for trainer, you can take the Victoria line directly to Seven Sisters. So for bus also there are a number of buses that come to the Seven Sisters underground station now over to me I found so to me and by your officer over to me afraid a book appointments with Yang. Usually so for your office line 0208 493 7340 wobɛtumi ebuki appointment na etumi ne wo edi nkitaho ehu the way a yɛbɛtumi aboa wo nso so usually sɛ wopɛ sɛ wofrɛ a yɛbie from Monday to Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Into between those times there wobɛtumi afrɛ ebuki appointment either by phone or by video whichever one suits you now wobɛtumi ebisa ho nsɛm but ɛyɛ immigration nsɛm nkwa na yɛde ho nkɔmmɔ a anaasɛ yɛde ho adwuma usually sɛ ɛyɛ family issues a wɔwɔ in terms of ebi a akwadaa a wopɛ sɛ wohu child arrangement orders yɛyɛ ho adwuma divorce yɛyɛ ho adwuma non-molestation and occupation orders yɛyɛ ɛno nso ho adwuma when it comes to civil litigation matters nso so yɛyɛ ɛno nso ho adwuma ɛna yɛpɛ no nso yɛ wills and probates nti wobɛtumi afrɛ anaasɛ wobɛtumi ɛne yɛn our consultation na yɛtumi ehu the best way to help you in terms of the situation that you are in.
Yo, Lioness, Yebedasi, thank you very much for joining us. And up to this time, you're still with us. Now, yedi about the conclusion on your mention, Minyabra Sandra Fraser, Minjao Kra. Thank you so much for the information that you've put across. I mean, to get to BWF Solicitors or the Nina Bigola, Eunice, so about Betre, Nyamensha or Sandra, Mamo Barson. There was this woman who requested that we speak English small. Yeah, prophetess a great oracle of God. Please, next time I'll make sure we blend the English for you if you watch us. The moment you come on, just let me know, and then we blend the English for you to understand. However, we had just before the ending of the show, there was an English version to summarize the whole thing for you as well. So keep on sharing, keep on liking the page, and then we can do more with your support. Yeah, that's it. It's here for Nasha for Hannah did me, I am still in the birthday mood, and if you still want to wish me happy birthday, it's not too late. Go ahead. I ask for blessings. I love receiving blessings. Nyamenka nyina ho na yenya a very beautiful weekend. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner, with over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.